This week, the Knesset marked the 15th anniversary of the 2001 Durban Conference against racism, where one of the first resolutions linking Zionism to racism was created. ILTV's Steve Leibowitz headed over to the event, and he spoke with Likud Knesset member Anat Berko, who claims that Durban opened the door to a new form of terrorism against Israel.
At least we can understand what is the sources of the new wave of anti-Semitism, and this was the place that they allow this anti-Semitism to break out. And also the BDS movement that have there in Durban, they put the infrastructure of the BDS movement against Israel. And I would like to say there is no PC politically correctness when they are speaking about Jews. They gave they legitimize violence against Israel. They legitimize hatred of Israel. They legitimize hatred of Jews and Judophobia. And I think that at that time, what we are going to see, that this kind of terrorism, this form of terrorism, will get back to the people who dispatch this kind of wave. And also, I think that right now, when they need to combat terrorism, let's see what they will do. And I'm sure that they will use much more powerful tools in security meanings or in not human rights meaning to combat terrorism. So it's about time to understand that we are the right side, and we strive for peace. We would hope to have peace, but not to give up to our security and our land and our only place upon earth, the state of Israel. Thank you.
Are you concerned that Israel is somehow fueling the BDS movement with some of its policies, or is there really nothing that we can do to change our policies in order to combat BDS?
You know, before I came to the Knesset, I'm a professor lecturing all over the world, and many times because my field, I'm kind of terrorism expert and I'm talking about the security stuff, I get demonstration when I come to speak on campuses. So what we see right now, that there is no academic freedom of speech, not in America, not in Europe. If you need to have a policeman inside the room to be able to deliver a lecture in America, what we're speaking about? So I think that the problem is that this kind of BDS conversation is like it's against the democracy, it's against freedom of speech, and it's bullying other students that really scared to death to speak out and to say what they are thinking.
So you're very concerned about BDS movement on campus, but actually in terms of business, in terms of the economy, the Israeli economy is growing all the time, and the BDS movement hasn't harmed us much, has it?
You know, they will try to cause the damage to Israel because they cannot win in any other battle. So it's like they try now to get from the window and to do that and that. But let's say if they want to boycott all the products of Israel, let's start with the medical product, with the computer product, and all those develop wonderful that we contribute to the world. What we see that those who call for the river to the sea Palestine will be free, which means the destruction of Israel. Not less than that, they don't want peace. They are calling for the destruction of Israel, and we need to speak out and to say that and to give a fight back. Let's see who is and who are those behind this movement.
I'd like to ask you one final question. You are, of course, a world-renowned expert in terrorism. It seems as though the most recent wave of terror is kind of subsiding. Is that your viewpoint?
No, I think that this kind of terror, it's become a global terrorism, global jihad, and we need to look what we see on the map, that it's Europe, it's America, it's Africa, it's Asia, it's everywhere, Australia. So let's say there is a problem right now, and if the West would like to still to play with these PC issues and not to define the enemy, you know, I'm Lieutenant Colonel in the Army Reserve. But let me tell you something. If you don't see the enemy, you don't define the enemy, and you don't have the purpose, what you need to do every day to give a fight and to win this battle, how can you do that?
When you say define the enemy, you mean like President Obama not defining the enemy?
I mean that we need to define the enemy to be able to win this Third World War.